Hi everyone, Most High in Christ bless you. I want to give all praises to the Most High for allowing me to share this information with you, and for His wisdom, His knowledge and understanding. I would like to get into the topic of the spiritual side of birth and the importance to be spiritually prepared for childbirth. So there is a physical role, and there's also a spiritual role at play during childbirth. We all know that the role of a midwife is to assist the mother-to-be in her delivery of her baby. According to the Bible, there's also a spiritual role, but it's unfortunately for millions of women across the world, they will not experience a spiritual empowering childbirth. This is mainly due to the lack of knowledge. So let's get into these are a few questions during this topic you'll be able to answer. I will be able to go through with you. According to the Bible, who play the spiritual role to deliver your baby according to the Bible. And the second one is, what are the benefits for pregnant women to be spiritually prepared for childbirth? So the two questions is, who play the spiritual role to deliver your baby according to the Bible? And the second one is, what are the benefits for pregnant women to be spiritually prepared for childbirth? So let's get back to the topic, the spiritual side of childbirth. For you to understand the spiritual side of childbirth, you have to understand, just as we live in the physical world, there is also a spiritual world we call heaven, where all the work is done to develop your fetus into a baby without the influence of man. There's also a date and a time for your delivery. Plan is made in the spirit, in the spiritual world. So basically, it's just as we know there's a physical world, there's also a spiritual world where plan is made for your baby, the date and everything is made in heaven for the delivery of your baby. Provision, the Most High make provision for your baby. Everything is everything is done in the spirit, just as you see from a fetus. I will show you an image of a fetus, and from a fetus, and as the Bible describes a fetus, it says he is formed. The scripture said he formed you in your mother's womb. So when you see a fetus, and you see when it's from the shape of it, and it's been formed to the first shape, to the second shape, like something has been put, like it's molded and it formed together. So the Bible description of that forming, you would call it a development, but in the biblical the Bible describe it as its form. And so when you see the step, like step 1, from the fetus you go down to when it's forming into a high, it's forming. And the other scripture says he knit you. When the Bible describes knitting, like it's like an operation, a spiritual operation is been done. So when I say that childbirth is it's more of a spiritual experience than a physical one. It is more a spiritual experience. Your baby is being formed in the spirit. And the Bible said he knit. The scripture said he knit. So it basically is operating, is knitting, just like how we would see in the physical. A doctor would sew up you if a woman have a C-section, they would knit like sewing. So the Bible is describing the baby when it's in the womb, and he knit the baby in the womb. So the Most High, childbirth is basically more of a spiritual experience from the beginning of conception. Conception is also a spirit. That's another topic. From the beginning of conception to right to labor, it's whole spiritual. How would you know? How would you think about how you know when? You would just know without even you as a woman, as a pregnant woman, would know when your time is due. You instantly know. That means you're in tune. When you're pregnant, you're more in tune. You're more spiritually in tune, and connected. And yes, you're more connected in the spirit. So childbirth is more of a spiritual experience. I cannot emphasize more on how it is important to be spiritual, prepare for childbirth, and how the Most High, we have to acknowledge Christ, the Most High through Christ, had our birth, bring him, involve him in our birth. I was thinking to share a bit of testimony, how I get this profound understanding that childbirth is a more spiritual experience than a physical one. It was my experience with my childbirth, my unassisted birth. So I'm gonna share my birth story with you, my unassisted birth story. It was that opened up my eyes that childbirth is more of a spiritual aspect than a physical one. So I'll go back to the far forward in that day when I was going to have the baby. My mucus break. I knew in my spirit that the baby was going to come. I didn't fear, apart from far from educating. Sorry.